We're going to look at a two-consumer exchange economy where the consumers have quasi-linear utility functions. From that, we're going to derive the contract curve. So two-consumer exchange economy, we're going to have Alice, who has 6 units of good X and 4 units of good Y, and Kevin with 4 units of good X and 6 units of good Y. Alice's utility function is given as follows, quasi-linear utility function here. Kevin will also have a quasi-linear utility function of units of good X and units of good Y. So here's Alice's utility function once again, and Kevin's utility function. So we're going to derive the contract curve. All points at Alice's indifference curves are tangent to Kevin's indifference curves. The slopes of the indifference curves at tangency are equal. When the indifference curves are tangent, Alice's marginal rate of substitution will equal Kevin's marginal rate of substitution, where the marginal rate of substitution is absolute value of the slope of the indifference curve. And that is given by the marginal utility of good X divided by the marginal utility of good Y. And just in calculus notation, a couple of partial derivatives will get us the respective marginal utilities. So starting with Alice's utility function, we're going to get those marginal utilities. The marginal utility of good X for Alice will be given by 50 divided by X. And the marginal utility of Y for Alice, partial derivative of Y here is just 1. So forming the ratio of the marginal utility of good X to the marginal utility of good Y, we're just going to get 50 divided by X for Alice. For Kevin, his marginal utility of good X is going to be 200 divided by units of good X. The marginal utility of good Y here is pretty simple. It's just 1. So again, taking the marginal utility of good X, dividing it by the marginal utility of good Y, we get 200 divided by X. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to set those marginal rates of substitution equal to one another. So setting the marginal rate of substitution for Alice equal to the marginal rate of substitution for Kevin, we get this expression right here. And recognizing here we're going to do a substitution for X subscript K. We have this two good exchange economy. The total endowment of good X is 10. Alice has 6 right now. Kevin has 4. So before they trade, we have 10 units of good X available. So Kevin's consumption of good X is just going to equal 10 minus Alice's consumption of good X. So I'm going to make a substitution here. For X subscript K, I'm going to put in 10 minus X subscript A. So making that substitution, and now we're going to just solve for X subscript A. So multiplying through by X subscript A, we get 200 times X subscript A on the right-hand side, and then multiplying through by 10 minus X subscript A, we get this expression on the left-hand side. Next thing I'll do is I'll divide everything through by 50. So 200 divided by 50 is 4. And now I'm going to add X subscript A to both sides to get this. And then dividing through by 5, 10 divided by 5 is 2. And we have our contract curve. So looking at that graphically, our contract curve for this economy is going to be this yellow line. This yellow line defines all Pareto efficient outcomes. So we get a kind of, with quasi-linear utility functions, we get an interesting looking contract curve. Okay, it's basically vertical inside the Edgeworth box here. And this would be 1, 2, X subscript A equals 2, so this is vertical here at 2. All right, that's it. I hope you found this video helpful.